The Last Guardian. This game took a decade to make and went through 2 generations of consoles before its release on December 6, 2016. This is my favorite game. Period. The visuals are beautiful. I recently got to play the new VR demo that just came out, and my reaction sounded a little something like this. Oh my god! What? Let's just say I had a little more than fun playing it. Anyway, this game is too good to ignore when it comes to music. The dynamic range of it conveys feelings so transparent, it honestly makes me rethink what video game music is. Some games have simple soundtracks, and that's fine, but when it comes to The Last Guardian, they needed to have a soundtrack that flowed like the gameplay did. Let's take a deeper look into the music and see what makes it so distinguished. Let's get started. First, we need to go back to the very beginning. This game took a decade to make. YouTube was only 2 years old at the time, and it even beats Cuphead in how long this game took to create. It was made by Japan Studios in, you guessed it, Japan. The Last Guardian team, Team Ico, was directed by Fumito Ueda. He designed the stylistic, thematic, and all of the gameplay elements that are found in the game today. The project ideas stemmed from his last work, Shadow of the Colossus, and used the idea from the game's interaction between Wander and Argo. Ueda took it one step further with Guardian, turning it into a relationship between man and beast. Or child and cat, dog, bird, monster in this case. The beast, named Trico, actually comes from Japanese folklore, having the name Hirokui no Washi Toraku, or literally meaning the great man-eating eagle, Toraku. Why does this have anything to the music, you might ask? A lot. Like, a lot. Think of the contrast between the boy and Trico. Think of their personalities and how they intertwine. Think of the relationship between them and how they interact. Their relationship grows with the game. It's not some basic relationship that never shapes into anything. It's a colorful relationship that is complex with different emotions. That's where the music comes in. It not only picks up the relationship of the two, it picks up their surroundings and feelings. It conveys emotions like nothing I've ever played before. At one point, my brain even thought it could smell the grass of an outside level. It's that makes this game special to me, and to a whole lot of other people too. The music was written, orchestrated, conducted, and co-produced by Takeshi Furukawa. He started on the soundtrack around 2011. This was around the same time the game was being transitioned to the PlayStation 4 console. During this transition, most of the creative work had been put on hold. Furukawa barely worked on the composition until 2013, 3 years prior to the release. He finally completed his composition in early 2016. The music of Guardian flows in a way that can be linked to nature. He used instruments that sounded very natural and rich in tone. Also, he used different sound effects in Guardian to restate that this is a very natural soundtrack. There wasn't much I could find in regards to music theory, but this is what I made out of the soundtrack. It all rotates around one simple riff. The riff keeps coming up over and over again in the soundtrack, and is even played a little different in some cases. I think it's meant to keep the theme in the soundtrack and remind the player how far they've come, but yet how they're still in the same game trying to solve new puzzles. The tempo of the music is usually slow, except for the occasional battle with those big dorks, but still it doesn't really speed up much. The music normally changes from minor to major, or vice versa, very slowly and delicately. Regarding time, the songs range from 3 to 4 minutes, except for the last 3 songs on the soundtrack, which I think are the ending and credit songs. Furukawa knew that he had a lot to live up to. He had to be aware that the reputation of the soundtrack by Makoto Ushami and Kao Otani for Ico and Shadow. Furukawa wanted to avoid copying these previous works and instead drew his inspiration from works with muted aesthetic, such as the French cinema. His music sounds very similar to the music composer Thomas Newman, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was a big influence on Furukawa's work on Guardian. Furukawa used the London Symphony Orchestra, the Trinity Boys Choir, and London Voices, and it was all recorded at Lyndhurst Hall in London. This selection makes it instantly memorable, and evokes emotion in a way few soundtracks do. In the end, Furukawa and everyone else devoted so much time and effort into this game. I love music, but there is so much more to appreciate in this game. As always, I highly suggest listening to the soundtrack, but for Guardian, you really have to play it to get the full experience. I'll leave you off with a little behind the scenes video on Guardian's music. As always, the link will be in the description if you want to check out the full video. Anyway, enjoy!
My initial contact with this project was from Tommy Kikuchi over at Sony Music Publishing. He had approached me about submitting a demo for the game, actually, and I believe it was a number of composers who had submitted demos for Ueda-san to listen to. And I guess I had done something right, because I was chosen to be the composer for the game. The reason why I chose Air Studio is for its acoustics. It's known for a very lush and gorgeous sound, and for the London Symphony, I mean, it's one of the best orchestras in the world.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here.
I would definitely say the high point was stepping in front of the orchestra and having that first note played. It doesn't get better than that. I think we had about 92 players, and that really brings the organic magic into the score that you cannot get out of a digital instrument. It has been challenging in the sense that the game Ueda-san has made is so unique and very delicate. It has a lot of heart. When I first started thinking and conceptualizing the score, the main thing was to try to isolate and minimize the amount of elements that are going to go into the score.
Thank you to everyone for waiting so long. It's such a busy time for everyone around the holidays. It's hard to put out videos like these. I know I was kind of a fanboy in this episode, but I can't help it. I just love Japan Studios' work because they put so much time into it. Tell me what you thought about The Last Guardian if you played it. The only complaint I had was the camera wouldn't be the best sometimes, and Trico seemed to ignore me whenever I wanted to complete the darn level. Otherwise, great game. Go check it out. If you have any suggestions regarding music to sections, leave a comment. I make videos every week, and since the channel is still small, there's a 100% chance I'll do it. You can help me out though by subscribing. Also, share this video with another gaming music nerd. I bet they'll get something out of it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Phoebe, out.